G'day, guys.
And
So, what would it be without ours having technical problems once again, just for a nice change?
Wouldn't be another normal night
It
for us,
wouldn't,
would it? Eh?
Literally, we just lost all Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so everything just died. Not
So
live,
hopefully
died.
it doesn't happen halfway through the show.
Hey, welcome,
Fingers
Guns.
crossed.
Welcome. Yeah, fingers crossed we don't drop out on you. But
Yeah, hope
the
so.
apologies if we do. We've got a bit of a dodgy connection tonight for
Yeah, I
some
don't know
reason.
what's going on here.
So
Telstra.
anyway,
Thanks, kids.
Al's gonna have a punch up with Telstra during the week this week, and hopefully we'll
Why
get it
not?
sorted. Anyway,
I
there
wouldn't
you
be
go.
the first person, I'm sure.
How's your week been, mate? How are you anyway?
God, it's been bloody mental, mate.
Hasn't it? What?
Work's just gone crazy. I mean, I
Hasn't it?
don't need
What?
to tell you, you've started a new job.
Well,
New full-time gig.
a bloke's got to earn an honest living.
They
I
do,
can't just sit here and drink
Hang on,
beer.
we're
and
talking you.
I can't just sit here and drink beer and
New,
eat.
honest living.
Yeah, well, there you go, eh? No, but we do need an IT guru. Thanks for that, Dale.
Yeah.
So the bride's on there just bagging us about needing an IT
That's
guru.
right. She was going to come over, wasn't she?
Hey, Shelley.
Not bad tonight.
Evening, my sister dear. How
G'day,
are
Steve.
we?
How are you, mate?
Hey, Steve. Look out. We got the whole complement on tonight.
We do.
Everyone's
Yeah,
around,
good as that.
which is great. Hey,
Thanks for joining us again.
happy Easter.
I know, happy Easter.
We got Good Friday banging on the door for tomorrow.
Finally, a 4-day break.
The day of piscatorial. What would you call that? Gourmandisation. So we sit around and eat lots of fish.
Gourmandisation.
Well,
There's a new
you
word.
stuff it in. Oh, well, is it a
Wow.
word?
I don't know. You're
That's
telling the story,
what's
mate.
that ad with Shaq on it where he says he's a philosophizer? Is that a
Philosophizer.
word? Anyway, I'm
Wow.
just rolling with it. So
Thanks for
hey,
the stars, Jared.
yeah,
Thanks, Shelley.
Good work. Hey, Dale.
G'day, Dale. Hiya.
Drink plenty of beer, Peter. Yeah, thanks, Dale. Dale,
He does.
live video's interrupted, but we won't worry about that. It's been paused and we're about to resume.
Awesome.
Hey, Dale's one of the guys that I'm now working with.
Oh, nice. G'day, Dale.
Yeah, so he's on tonight. G'day, mate. No doubt we'll catch up.
Yep.
And I'll tell you more about my new gig maybe next week.
Yeah?
Yeah, I need to.
When you've had a few more days under your belt.
Yeah, probably 2 days is not enough to start bragging. They might wake up to me and give me the flick Monday. Yeah. So
They're probably already...
I was going to say, if
waiting for
anyone from the new office in Sydney is watching this, hi, and please pass on my regards to the good people.
That's it, exactly.
Tell them
G'day,
I was,
Robbo. Hiya, mate. Actually,
Hey,
a big
Robbo.
shout out to Robbo. He's, obviously, we've done a few comps now and we're giving quite a few accessories away and we're giving a few barbecues away. And
That's why I've had to go back to bloody work.
I know we have. Yeah, we're probably giving away more than we're selling. But anyway, but Robbo's actually been true to what he said. Every time he's cooked on that Rambler, he's sent us through the posts, he's tagged us, he's
Nice
done everything.
stuff.
And he's the only one.
Hey, good on you,
Thanks,
Robbo.
good on you, Robbo. Thanks, mate. Appreciate
That's
it. Keep
awesome.
it up.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you the other thing that we did, which we didn't mention last week, when we were up at Shepparton for the brew, and I'll get this off up front.
Yeah.
You and I have had a hell of a week. You've been
Yeah, it's been
flat out.
mental,
I've
yeah.
started a new gig and had a couple of days in Sydney. So, excuse me. I didn't bring that from
You
Sydney.
didn't. Let's hope.
Um,
You haven't been to Brisbane, have you?
No. But I tell you what, I'm going to pull these off because
What are you pulling up?
when we finished up
concerned
in
there.
Shep at the Shep Brew and Barbecue Fest,
Yeah.
you come and visited my old bloke.
I did, mate.
The
Yeah, I
old
come over
boy.
and saw Neil and saw his setup where he's
Had a
doing
look
the
at the
building
workshop.
making all the chopping boards for us and
And he
all the
hooked you up.
coasters.
He hooked you up with a little surprise
He
or a
did,
couple
mate.
of
Yeah,
surprises,
he
and
did. Yeah,
you got one for your sister. And Shell's just mentioned on there how good it was,
Yeah, she
and
got
he's on there saying g'day,
she got a
g'day,
nice big chopping board and
g'day, Foss.
g'day, mate. How are you?
He's on there. So these are the new logo.
Yeah.
And look out, we're interrupted again.
No, that's all right.
We've
Don't worry
been
about it.
paused. It'll all come back. Don't fear. So he's knocked up. We've done the new logo.
Yeah.
He's done Al a really lovely set of coasters. So
Yeah,
this is
they've come up a ripper. Yeah. you
this
got
is
'em.
the big boy set. So this is
my set. So
this
the
is-
big boy set.
this is Al's. So he's got a dozen on there with a double-sided holder that we put in the middle of the table, which is a
Yeah,
ripper,
Neil's
and
done a ripping job there, hasn't he?
we got them on there. They look
Absolute
fantastic.
sensation. He's got
And
the
then-
setup he's got down there. Is that bloody? He's done well, hasn't he?
And then he give Al a nice little surprise for just a little presentation board. So,
How good's that? A little wine glass in the middle of a chopping board.
yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
And then the other
Thanks,
coasters that he did for you, that you got for Shelley and
Shell, yeah.
and Roaming Bubbles,
Yep, I
As
haven't
a
got any
gift?
photos of them actually. We should have got some ready.
we should have.
Might get
Shell,
some up next week,
Shell,
but,
put some photos up, will you,
Yeah.
in the chat on the side? and
But
we'll
he
have
did
a
the
look at it.
logo of the Samoan family logo. Yeah, the coat of arms. Yeah,
Samoa.
They come up absolutely amazing.
So he's for an
ripping job
old
there, Neil.
fossil.
Good on you, mate.
He's a pretty talented old fossil, the old boy.
No, he did. Yeah.
So you see where I get
Absolute
it from
ripper.
now, right?
Let's go with that, mate.
Righto. I'm gonna roll with it. Hey, just while I'm on family, and you do talk about family a bit, but happy 31st wedding anniversary to my brother and his lovely wife. And everyone carries on about me being a bit of an ocker. I'm a bit Aussie, and a few overseas mates that bag me out.
Wouldn't have called that, mate.
Right.
Yeah.
My brother and his wife, Dave and Susie.
Really?
I was thinking before, I'm going to sound like an absolute bogan. Yeah,
Pete, Dave.
Me bro Dave and his missus Suze.
Good chef names.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They're good country names. But anyway, so happy 31st wedding anniversary for yesterday, guys. Hope you had a ripping night, and
Happy anniversary, Dave. Happy anniversary, Susie.
Here's another. Here's to another
year.
20.
31 years, mate.
Yeah.
How good's that?
Yeah, he'd be out 3 times if he killed one person every 10 years by now. But anyway, I'm not going there. Hey, a big shout out.
I was going to say, that was something I wanted to bring up.
You do it.
I just want a massive thanks to the guys down at Frankston Brewhouse last week. We had an absolute ball down there. I don't think I've ever been anywhere and had people being so accommodating.
Absolutely.
Like from the second we walked in until we left. Like we actually should have worn the caps tonight.
We should have.
Actually, that's a bit rude.
Jamie, Michaela. We had Cam and Nina in the kitchen. We had Joseph and Jules out on the bar. They're a ripping crew. I know they're open through this weekend.
Yeah, they are.
So they're closed Good Friday, of course, like most people.
Yeah.
But Saturday, Sunday, Monday, if you're looking for somewhere to go and have a beer and some bloody good food, get on down to the Frankston Brewhouse. Make a booking down there with the team.
I tell you what, Cam was good enough to email me the next day and say how much of a good night he had with us, and he also sent me through his recipe for the smoked cauliflower sauce that he does.
Now?
He did.
Well,
so,
I could go one better than that.
Have you?
Yeah, because I actually walked away and I forgot to take my credit card. I put it behind the bar to get some drinks and stuff for everyone, and I went back the next day because I had to go down there for some other stuff. So I went back the next day to pick up my credit card.
Yeah.
And Cam came out and surprised. Well, no, actually, he gave it to us the night before. He gave us some of the smoked cashew cauliflower sauce. So I took that home and I've used it last weekend and whatever else.
What did you use it on?
On cauliflower.
Oh, so you didn't venture out of the cauliflower circle?
Look, I only had... It was only going to last a few days. So I was only going to get 3 or 4 days out of it. So I got a bit pressed for time and all that kind of stuff. So I ended up just taking the path of least resistance and put it... And it was magnificent again. It was fantastic.
It worked really well.
The surprise was I walked in and he goes, hey, I got all excited after you guys left last night. Taste this. And he did a smoked beetroot dip.
Yeah, wow.
It was amazing. So I'm assuming maybe keep an eye on their menu. You might see something cool on there with a smoked
beauty. And we're also chatting with them about organising and doing a day down there. Bit of smoking and stuff on a Saturday.
So we'll tell everyone.
We'll keep you posted.
Yeah. International post. Some coasters for new place. Absolutely. Not a problem, Steve.
Definitely, he's just moved into his new place.
You tell us what you want on them, and we can certainly get them over there for you, mate. We'll get them at the right rate too, so that'll be good.
Yeah.
We'd love it over there.
100%.
Hey, so we've done that. Queensland in lockdown this week.
Yeah, I know, crazy, hey?
Wow.
Well, luckily for them, it was only 3 days. So they're actually, from midnight tonight, they're out of their lockdown, so they've not got to do a second Easter.
Oh, and there's no quarantine period?
Oh, no idea, mate. I don't keep that up. I've been too busy.
The mother-in-law's flying to Queensland today.
Is she?
I was hoping I might get a 2-week reprieve. If you're listening, Mill, I'm only kidding. I love you and I can't wait for you to be home.
G'day, Sean. Thanks for joining us, mate. I know your beloved pies are playing.
But I thought I might have got off the hook for 2 weeks if she was stuck up there. But no, look, good on her. I hope she has a great time up there.
She'll have a ball.
Up there for a couple of 50ths. Yeah. We've got to apologise, as I was about to say earlier. Yeah. We ran out of time. We were trying to pull together all the video and the interviews and all that sort of stuff. And there was a lot of it from the Shep Brew and Barbecue Fest the week before last.
We literally haven't had the time this week.
We just ran. So apologies to you guys. We will absolutely get it up. If we don't put it up in small chunks on our site anyway, we'll certainly have it ready for next week at some point. Yeah. So we might have to sit down and try and do some of that over the weekend.
Definitely.
2SG footy tips update, Alan.
There is. What's going on
Talk
with
to me
Tim? I
about
don't
the
know.
footy tips.
No, who cares? It's only tips. Really, who cares? I don't. Where am I sitting? Like 21st on the ladder, I think.
Jeez.
Not doing real good this year.
Here's a bloke who cops a kick in the first week or two,
So
and he
Pies,
just,
listen, the Pies have one win, and all of a sudden you're up and about. I've never seen so many posts about Collingwood on. It's 2 rounds in, mate.
Hang on. One post. All I did was I said, "Gee, my Carlton friends are very quiet on here tonight."
And I like how you've actually put up there that Blues have lost. Blues lost, yay.
I've gone on the sheet. I've gone Pies win, yay.
Bit stiff.
Blues lose,
I don't know.
yay.
Bit harsh. It's 2 games in, mate. Come on.
There's almost. It's almost better than us winning when they lose. It really
I don't know
is.
about that.
It's
But
sorry.
anyway, yeah, so top of the ladder, David Tyack, up by 2 already. 2 rounds in. So
Tyack too clear of the
smashing
pack.
it. And then NRL, you're on top again. You're still on top by a point.
Hang on to the mantle, mate. There was
did, mate, yeah.
5 of us that got 5 in the NRL last week, and there
Yeah.
was 3 of us that got 8 in the AFL last week.
Yeah, well.
So yeah, I've hung on a top spot on the NRL ladder. Dave Tyack's top spot on
Yeah.
the AFL ladder.
Yeah, nice.
So there you go.
Beautiful.
For some of you who visit our website regularly, you might have noticed, geez, who's that bloke on there?
That is Sean. I
Crikey.
don't even want to know why or what is going on there.
So
Anyway.
you might have noticed that we've taken a bit of product down off the website.
Yeah,
And that's because we're changing our strategy a little bit.
we are a little bit, yeah. We're changing things up a bit.
We are. We're going to focus a little bit more on what we do with you guys, a bit more on the social media side. We're going to look at the catering stuff that we're doing and do a little bit more of that.
Yeah, 'cause it
We-
seems to be going on well.
And we're
3
also,
times we've done it so far.
we are planning on trying to enter a comp or 2 this year at some stage.
Yeah,
And we'd like to start to compete. So we actually want to focus a bit more on the cooking
yeah.
and doing what we do here, sharing
show,
what we do
yeah.
with you guys, and we'd love to get hold of our mate Johnny over in the West and still try and tee up that sausage and salami making
definitely,
day.
yeah.
So that's the kind of stuff.
There'll be a
that
few changes, yeah.
Yeah, we want to keep doing that. We're going to take a bit of the focus off some of the
sales.
sales side of it. We'll still do the coasters and that for the old man.
Yeah, and the charcoal and
Yeah,
those
we'll
bits, yeah.
see how we go. But yeah, there's still a few things that we'll do, but we're going to back off a bit of the merch, the heavier stuff anyway. So,
Yeah.
so watch this space. Hey, so
Definitely.
what are we on to tonight? We've covered the week's highlights. It wasn't a hell of a lot of highlights.
No, there wasn't.
Because
No,
we didn't
wasn't
get time
much.
to see any of it.
No, it wasn't much really, was
actually,
it?
first time I've been on a plane in almost 18 months.
It was, yeah. It's
I
crazy.
jumped on a plane and I went to Sydney for a couple of days.
Yeah.
So it was
Wore your mask all the way there, I hope, and all the way back.
horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. Anyway, what are we doing tonight,
Horrible
mate?
being in Sydney or just horrible?
I'm not going there. I work for a Sydney company now. I've got to be careful.
What are we doing tonight, Pete? So we're cooking. So you've got your Happy Eatster smoked hot cross pudding.
Putty. All the putty.
I've done that again.
You have.
That's the second time
you
I've
having
done
a
the
stroke,
putty.
mate? You
I
okay?
think
Could
I
you
am.
poke your tongue out?
I might have to.
Yeah, so we're going to do an Eatster pudding
We are.
tonight, and
So you've got.
it's a
You've
little
got
number.
one on already. So
We
you've,
have.
You've got one. You've got the here's
The
one
old-
I've done earlier.
But wait, here's
Yeah.
one we've done earlier. So
Yeah.
we are going to do that.
It's all right. Keep going.
It throws me every time it comes up like that, saying, "Hey, we're having trouble playing your video. Learn more."
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll keep pressing on because hopefully it's still recording and you'll still get this.
Yep.
What we're going to do is we're going to show you a really, really, really simple Easter pudding dessert, smoked dessert tonight, with a little bit of a PA Easter twist on it.
Okay. Cool.
So what we're going to do is we're going to get up and we're going to get that started.
Yeah.
So that it's on, and then we can come back and talk about the beers
Take
for the
the
night.
notes off.
So let's
Yeah.
get up and into
Beauty.
it.
So I'll change the camera so we can actually see what we're doing.
That'd be great. And
Yeah,
I'll pull my
wouldn't it?
pants up. I've had to wear big boy pants this week too, Al, which I
You
didn't
have.
like much. Had to put big boy pants on and...
Definitely, and I'm hoping
seriously.
everyone can see us still.
Yeah, I was a bit worried about that, whether we're still alive or we've dropped off the planet.
Hopefully Soups have let us know.
So, oops. Anyway, so we might just confirm before we start doing this. We've got a couple of messages there from Sean
No, it's private.
and Bets. No, we haven't. Okay.
Family thing.
It's a little family thing. We
Yeah.
keep that in the family. Hey, so tonight what you can see here is all we're going to put into the Easter pudding.
Is one we prepared earlier.
Who loves a bread and butter pudding? Like the old style bread and butter pudding that your nan or your grandma. I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Definitely.
So what you're going to need, big mixing bowl, whisk, little bowl for separating egg yolks, and a Pyrex cooking dish for cooking the pudding.
Which everyone's got one of those hanging around in the kitchen somewhere.
Talk about ingredients.
Yep.
6-pack of Easter buns, and I've done the apple and cinnamon because it works really well with what we're doing. A little bit of salt, a little bit of maple syrup, brown sugar, nutmeg, cinnamon, vanilla extract, not essence.
Yeah.
Use extract, which is the thicker syrupy one, which is nice. A couple of tubs of light cream or pouring cream, whichever you can get in your area.
Yep.
A little bit of chocolate chip action going on here. Some cranberries, and you can use cranberries or you can use whatever fruit you like, sultanas, dates, anything. And just a couple of eggs. That's it.
I'm just going to grab something from the kitchen one sec.
Oh, okay.
I forgot something.
Here's something that El's prepared earlier, right? So, what we're going to do, I'm going to get El to, when he gets back, to do the hot cross bun part. So what we do is we're going to take the hot cross buns, the half a dozen hot cross buns, and we're going to tear them up into 1.5, 2 centimetre chunks, and we're going to just throw them loosely into that, into the Pyrex dish, into this one. So that's about a 30 centimetre Pyrex dish, around about that. And it should hold the half a dozen buns pretty easily. So when Al gets back, I'll get him to start ripping them up while I start doing the pudding part. So what we're going to pop into this is we're going to get some eggs, and you're going to need 5 eggs, all right? So 4 of the eggs, and I'm going to rearrange my things a little bit here. So 4 of the eggs, we're just going to break them, drop them straight into the mixing bowl. So get yourself a decent sized mixing bowl because it's got to hold pretty much all of the ingredients. So we're going to bang 4 eggs in there. The big fella's returned.
Sorry, mate.
That's all right, mate. So 4 eggs in there, and then the 5th egg is a special egg. So we're going to break that.
Do you want to get rid of that shell you're dropping in there, mate, or are we keeping that for that extra crispy?
Oh, mate, that's just a bit of roughage and a bit of...
what do you want me to do, mate? Do you want me to break these up?
Yeah, so what I want you to do, Al, is I want you to rip those hot cross buns just into 1.5, 2 centimetre chunks, all right, and then just layer them in the Pyrex dish.
Are you honestly going to make me measure them?
What? No. So here's the trick, guys. If you're ever trying to get egg shell out of your eggs, use the half of the egg that you put it in with, because otherwise you'll chase it around for hours in the egg to get it out. Well, near enough. Hey, so I've separated out the yolk from the egg white. So you got 4 complete eggs and 1 egg yolk. Yep. And we're just going to drop that in there as the 5th egg, basically. It's like the 3rd wheel, but it's the 5th egg. So I'm going to get rid of the egg box, so I've got a little bit of room to move here, and I'm going to wipe my hands and give them a bit of a go. Then I've got 2 of the little 300ml light creams, and you can see clearly I'll shop at Coles because a bit bigger than that, Al. That's okay. Don't get too fussy. They can be.
Oh, mate, you said 1.5 to 2 centimetres. I reckon that's near spot on.
Look at you getting all fussy. Huh?
I'm fussy.
Jesus, that's unbelievable. I've never seen you that fussy. So 2 full tubs of the cream. So it is a dessert. It's a sweet. You want plenty of the good stuff in there. So get the cream in there. So we've got 2 300ml tubs or 1 600ml tub, however you want to do it. That's what was available at Coles when I rocked in there this afternoon, so that's what I got.
So that's what you're stuck with.
That's what I'm stuck with.
Beautiful.
So what we're going to do then is, and this is a bit of my take, is just a bit of maple syrup, just a good little dash like that, and we're good to go. So it's just a little pour. You're probably looking at a couple of tablespoons, I reckon, but I'm a bit loose like that. A decent pinch of a good. What we've got here is the Murray River Naturally Pink Salt.
Got that from Brendan.
From the Murray. Oh, from Brendan at
Brendan's
Meats. Nice, good work. I'm going to get that out the road.
Well, I say I caught up with him, but Brendan's up on his property, so it's just Dave and the boys down there.
None of that going on there.
No.
Okay, so then you're going to get a teaspoon. And you're going to want a teaspoon of what I call cinnamon. Or cinnamon. Right? Hey, Al, while we're talking about this, where did hot cross buns come from?
Is this one of your jokes?
No.
Oh.
being serious.
I've got no idea, Peter. Where did hot cross buns come from? The bakery. That's where I normally get them from.
No. Like, have you got any idea where they originated?
No idea, mate. You tell me. Where
Well,
are they from?
it was actually the Saxons that created a bun around Easter to celebrate, or commiserate the passing of our great Lord
Old mate.
Jesus Christ. Old mate, yep. So old mate, it's passing.
Yeah.
So I've put in a teaspoon of, sorry, I'm having it, yeah. Teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm putting in a teaspoon thereabouts of nutmeg. All right, so we've got ground nutmeg.
So what have you got in there so far?
I've got 4 eggs, 1 egg yolk, 2 tubs of cream, a teaspoon of cinnamon, of ground cinnamon, a teaspoon of ground nutmeg.
Yep.
Then I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract.
I was trying to get you there.
I don't even know whether
you did well there.
Don't even know.
I'll let you off.
I don't even know if I've got 2 left, but anyway. There we go.
There you go, yeah, 2 perfect. 2 and a bit.
There it is, right.
And Freddie will pick up the rest, mate, if you miss any.
Yeah,
He's hanging around
if I
like
drop it,
he's not been fed for a week.
Look at him, he's just swilling around down there looking for the good gear. Righto, so that's the essence.
Give us that, what you talk, keep talking.
We've got one more to go in there, mate. So I'm going to bang a tablespoon of brown sugar. The old brown sugar. So, and, hey, because it's a sweet, one to make it go.
Because it won't be sweet enough.
No, it won't be anywhere near it, right? So, there we are. 2 teaspoons vanilla extract, 1 of cinnamon, 1 of ground nutmeg, a drizzle of Canadian maple syrup, 4 eggs, 1 egg yolk, 2 tubs of 300 or 600 ml of cream.
So does this set like?
Yeah, it becomes like a custard. So the whole lot, it's basically custard with a bit of flavouring through it.
Yeah, wow.
So you'll notice, so we're going to bang this in. We'll set the smoker at 180 C or 295 F, thereabouts, so 180 C. Bang your smoker up to that. You can just do this in the oven. I had to do my demo one of this in the oven last week because my Oklahoma Joe's Deluxe Rider blew its igniter last week and I haven't been able to use it, sadly, but the boys have looked after me from OK Joe and they got me a new igniter today so I could get cooking on the weekend. So I'm bloody happy about that, I can tell you.
Just pour it in?
So yeah, we literally, hang on, let's just spread that out so it's, yep,
Jesus, I knew I would have done it right.
Go for it. Right, we're going to spread that out and Al's just going to pour that mix, that custard mix. Top her up, mate, get her in there. Go for it. Righto. So then what we're going to do, and look, you can be a bit pedantic about this, but I like this to be a bit of fun, right? So I'd mix it up. You can, if you don't like white choc chips, don't put white choc chips in. If you don't like choc chips at all, don't put any in. You can mix it up, do it, leave it like that. If you wanted to, with your hot cross buns, you can actually cut them in half first, spread some jam or some marmalade inside, and it'll give another...
I love marmalade, but I don't have marmalade on a hot cross bun.
But you know how you have like a nice jam in a hot cross bun or a bread and butter pudding? There's normally got a jam in it. It's the same sort of thing, right? So, but anyway,
so what are you putting on, Pete?
I'm going to put in here some white chopped chips, right?
Beautiful.
So that's, and we're going to go the opposite of a hot cross bun to some degree because what I'm now going to do, so I'm going to be a bit clever and I'm going to go, here's my brown chopped chips, and with my brown chopped chips I'm going to make a nice little line up that way, and a nice
You're
little
trying to be
line.
artistic, aren't you, Pete?
You say artistic or autistic?
Bit of both.
I shouldn't say that, that's not right.
Bit of both.
I shouldn't say that. So we've got our...
White chopped chip, dark chopped chip.
Hot
What
cross.
else have you got there? Some dried cranberries.
Yeah, so I've got some cranberries just to give it a bit of a fruity, tarty sort of flavour.
There's not enough fruit with the apple in the...
No.
Thought you
You can always do
cranberries
a
as well,
little
mate.
bit more. So we'll bang a few cranberries in there just
in the corners.
just for good measure, just for break
Trying
up.
to do a Union Jack of some description.
Yeah, that's it. No, it's a hot cross pudding.
Hot cross Union Jack.
Hot cross pudding. Hey, so what I'm going to do, we're going to get rid of all of these because I don't know how the other one's going or how long it's been in. I don't think we've been really keeping track that well. Let's get rid of all this stuff, Al. So that the good folks can see exactly what we're doing. Now, when this comes out of the smoker, with your smoker, if you do it in an offset with your charcoal, you can add some maple or some pecan wood chunks, and that adds a really nice smoky.
Anything fruity would go well as well.
Yeah, probably, but pecan and maple I think would complement it really well.
Your favourites? Yeah.
Well, I think they just complement it. So let's have a look at that. I think we're going to leave that for a little bit longer, but...
You want to put that in?
Let's put that in. So we're going to get that one in. We'll let that one go for another probably 10 minutes. We might do our beer review, or start it at the very least, and come back to it.
Beautiful.
Righto.
I'm going to go back to the
But
screen.
Having said that, Al, are we on?
We are, yeah.
Yeah, good.
We're still going. We're just
nice.
Muted ourselves on screen.
Having said that, that should take, you should cook that for about 45 minutes at 180.
Okay, yeah.
Even in your oven.
Yeah.
Then when you pull it out after that, let it rest for about 10 minutes. Just let it do its thing and it'll firm up in that custard
and
underneath.
Cool down a little bit as well, otherwise you're going to destroy the roof of your mouth, I'm
Yep.
guessing.
Yep, and then you can finish it off with a nice light dusting of some cinnamon and some icing sugar, or some sugar, if you like, on the top. Maybe a bit of custard, which is all.
I'll tell you what, it's good for you then.
Bit of ice cream. Hey, Easter's an indulgent time, you know. We fill ourselves with chocolate. It's a time of the year.
So it'd be good, a bit of ice cream, just on top, melted over.
You got any ice cream?
Probably not. Soups would have eaten it all.
There's a take no prisoners attitude
Pretty
here
much,
when it comes to ice cream. Hey, so that is, and now it's the cooking and serving part now. We're not.
Yeah.
There's nothing else you've got to do. So you can see how simple that is.
Nice and easy.
If you've got people coming over for Sunday Easter lunch, get into the supermarket on Saturday morning, get the few things. Most of that stuff you've got in your cupboard.
Yep.
You really only need to go and buy a bit of cream.
Hot cross buns.
Hot cross buns.
And you can get those generally from about Boxing Day.
Couple of bucks. Well, some places are doing them all year round now. So, but anyway, hey, so just on the Easter bun story that I was telling you about, so the Saxons actually did it, and then they were doing it as just a bun, and then the Christians got hold of it, and they added the cross to the bun to represent the passing of Jesus and all that sort of thing, and the spices were a part of it because the spice that is in a Easter hot cross bun represent the spices and the things that we used to embalm Jesus when he died on the cross. So it's actually a really interesting story when you go back and look at it. But there is quite a history to hot cross bun, and it's been around for thousands of years. So you know, enjoy it. It's Easter time, and it's time to celebrate. And you know, as much as I'm not a devout Christian or anything like that, it's just a nice time to have a bit of a break and spend some time with family. So
any excuse for 4 days off? So
enjoy, and we're going to enjoy this when it comes out, and we'll do that before 100%. The end of the show to show you all.
Yeah.
Righto. Tell us about the beer, Al. What's on this week?
We've got the Modus this week. So Modus Brewery.
They with this one first.
It's Modus Operandi Brewing. They call themselves.
Right. What does Modus Operandi translate to? That's Latin for something, right?
It is Latin for something, and I read it earlier, and I've completely...
Come on, mate. Is it in our notes?
I've completely lost it. No, it's not.
Oh, damn it.
Because I actually read it afterwards.
Someone else will tell us. What's Modus Operandi? It's Latin for something, I'm sure.
I don't know what it is. It's good times or something like that.
Modus Operandi, isn't it?
Something like good times. I can't remember.
Anyway. Yep.
But they're they're in Mona Vale in New South Wales.
Yep. You know how Mason told us it's great to have a good head on a beer?
Yeah, you've done well there, mate.
Probably overdoing it a touch here.
So their motto is beer first, no shortcuts.
Right.
Yeah, so good on it.
A bit like Soups's. Ice cream first, no prisoners.
Yeah, exactly, pretty much. And so for the two founders, it was always a dream for Jazz and Grant. It was their dream to make beer for a living. This
is the can, Modus Operandi.
Yeah. And
that's the one I've just done is the Modus Pale.
The pale you've gone with.
I'm going to give you the pale as well, but yeah.
Beautiful,
you can have one.
So in 2012, after a few beers, they decided to quit their day jobs and jump on a plane to the US.
I reckon there's a theme for me here with every brewer. Like every
they all do it, don't they? They all
brewery.
seem to have gone to the US for a while.
And it's always a couple of mates that get on the gas together, and then they end up running a pub.
But what most of them you find generally is they'll go to one place and they'll stick with one brewery or one winery or something. But what Jazz and Grant did is they went and bought a 20-year-old motorhome and just went throughout the USA craft beer trail.
Really?
So they literally just went for 6 months, went stuff it, bought this 20-year-old motorhome and went, we're just going to go and taste every craft beer.
Fair dinkum.
that there is. And so that's what they did.
So paid research, of course.
Oh, 100%.
To go and do that as part of the
tax deductible, I'm sure.
business development plan.
And so they discovered every nook and cranny of the beer world for 6 months. Brewing, talking, cleaning and drinking absolute crap load of beer.
Wow.
Good on them.
Wow. Well,
So,
were, you know what, we're going to go one better one day, you and I.
We'll do 12 months.
Well, not only that, but we're not just going to do the beer. We're going to do every barbecue joint in the US
Exactly,
as well.
we'll do barbecue
We're going to
beer
come back
talk,
like
yeah,
this, just
exactly.
big, fat,
Why not?
red-nosed drunks with beards. It's going
I'll
to
have
be
to
great.
hire a big enough motorhome with a gym in the back.
Only kidding.
Work
Hey, only kidding to my new employer. That's not
That's
what my
right,
plan
yeah.
is.
They're US based, aren't they?
No.
So,
Completely?
sorry, we've just been told that we've dropped
Just
that
bear with
completely.
us a sec, folks. I'm just going to crank into my mobile and see whether I
No,
can
we're still up on here.
find out what's going on.
We're still going on here.
Are we?
Yeah.
Says we are.
Sorry, guys, we're having internet issues still. Hopefully
driving
it
us
doesn't
nuts.
continue.
Driving us
I don't know
nuts, but anyway.
why. But anyway,
Hey, I'll
we'll
tell
keep
you-
going. So they've
Go on.
returned home to Sydney.
Yep.
There's sunny beaches there.
Sunny beaches
With a
in
thirst to
Sydney.
brew the very best beer in Australia. And they poured their first beer in 2014.
Hey, Jazz and Grant will be the judge of that.
Correct, exactly. I haven't
Will
tried
be,
it yet.
will be the judge of that.
Yeah.
It's actually not bad.
Is it? I'll be honest,
It's-
I've already drank quite a few of these.
Oh, have you?
I bought a slab of them about 2 weeks ago.
We're back. So Soups has just informed us that we're back.
Yep.
We have you.
So apologies, guys.
Yep. Earth to the internet, we have you. Pies are up by 13 points at quarter time.
Who cares?
Giddy
Let's be honest.
up!
So one thing I do love, they use absolutely no preservatives and only the finest speciality malts and hops that are sourced from all over the globe. They're 100% green
It's very
in their power.
malty and very hoppy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep,
definitely.
Yep.
So they're 100% green energy
Yep.
powered throughout the brewery and constantly innovating to keep up with the times.
And it's family owned.
The green times. Yeah, it's all family owned.
So
yeah.
a Jazz and Grant family?
Yep.
What, brothers, sisters, husband, wife? Don't know.
I think they're husband and wife actually, yeah.
Oh,
Husband and
okay.
wife.
So it's a family gig. So get behind it. Small family business here in Australia. We love them. We don't even have to be small. I just like family businesses here in Australia. But we'll talk more about that.
One thing they are doing, they're opening another brewery.
Really?
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
They've got it is in Merewether, near Newcastle, in New South again. It's a beachside suburb up there, which they're opening this year.
Was that the
They're in the
Pommy
process.
pronunciation of the suburb that they're opening in, or is that
I don't know.
is it Merewether or
Merewether, M-E-R-E, weather.
Merewether?
Would you say Merewether?
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Same Merewether anyway.
Anyway, there you go. That's
Whatevs.
proper English, I guess.
Proper. Just like myself.
The connection is dropping out here and there, though. Sorry, guys. We really
Yeah.
apologise. We'll get it sorted next week. But
Yeah,
bear with us
hopefully you
tonight.
can-
Just hang in there for us. We haven't got long to go. We're going to show you the pudding, but keep going, Al. So,
in the Gabs they had 5.
They had
this
5
year, which
Gabs
was
beers.
awesome, and most of them were. No, I think all of them were in the top 50. There was
yeah,
one. 51,
one that was just
yeah.
out. But they
So
had 4
number
in the...
18, they had their XPA, which is their extra pale ale, which I couldn't get. I
Right.
did try and get that one.
Yep.
One of them that we've got tonight, which we're drinking now,
It's
is
the
the
number
pale,
28.
American Pale Ale.
So it's the 28th best craft beer in the country right at
Yep.
the moment.
And then they had the Sonic Prayer, which is an IPA, American IPA.
Yep.
Number 38 was Former Tenant Red IPA, which is
That's
the
this
other
guy.
one that we've got.
Cool name for a beer. Former
I know,
tenant.
pretty cool,
eh?
eh?
Yep,
Yeah.
That's I like that.
And then at
Like
number
a lot.
51 was their Hazy Pale, which is called Lost in the Fog, which is pretty cool for a hazy.
They got some cool names for their
Yeah.
beers. So
Which
the
is
Modus XPA Modus Pale is a bit boring, but
That were their first one. Some
Sonic
guests
Prayer,
sort of
Former
obviously
Tenant, and
sort
Lost
of
in the
jumped on
Fog.
afterwards, yeah.
good name for a hazy pale ale. Lost
Yeah.
in the Fog. It's good.
Definitely.
Hey, so tonight we've got the pale.
Yep.
It's an American pale ale, 5.2% ABV.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you something that I read about the ABVs in a minute in Australia. It's got a fresh, crisp, bold, huge aromatics of lush pine, vibrant citrus, all balanced with a delicate blend of the finest malt make Modus Pale Ale, the classic pale.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably
It's very malty and hoppy.
it's
definitely.
probably the most normal pale ale I've tasted in a while, because
Yeah.
quite a few of them now have got a bit of their own twist to them.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Whereas it is a very classic pale ale.
Yeah.
It's got that body and
Definitely.
kick in it. So good beer, sits at 5.2.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a tasty little thing.
The former tenant,
Hey.
I don't even know if you're going to be able to drink that. It's 7.8%. You got to drive home.
I was going to say, mate, I could be the former licensed person, but I'll have a taste and that'll be about it. So
Yeah.
I'll do the right thing.
No, fair enough.
Just on ABVs, I read an article through, and I think it was in Brew News the other week.
Yeah.
And I was reading that one of the Australian authorities was doing testing on a lot of because there's so many little breweries out there now. The ABV on a can of beer or bottle of beer or beer in general or whatever has to fit within a tolerance of a certain amount. So if they state that it's a 5.2, it can't be any more than like a 5.5 or as low as a 4.7.
Which is what Travis and Steve were saying last week when
Exactly.
Yeah.
However, they tested 20 different beers, and I can't tell you which ones they were, and there was some that were as much as 1.9% difference.
Yeah, wow.
There was one that said it was 5.6 and it was like 7.9. So the one thing I would say to you is if you are driving and you're drinking some of these craft beers, don't rely on what you're reading on the can as an ABV
100%.
because sometimes they're a little bit out, and that little bit out can be the difference between you being able to drive to work next week and not being able to drive to work.
Correct, exactly, yeah.
So take it easy, folks. Just be careful. Although we're saying ABV, 1.5 standard drinks, you add another percentage of alcohol point onto the ABV of that, and all of a sudden...
literally 20% out. More, no, 40% out. Yeah.
You're up to 2 standard drinks in a can kind of thing.
Well, if that's 5.2 and you added a 1.9 onto that, all of a sudden you're up to 7.1%.
Yep. So you're going from a 1.5 or a 1.3 standard drink to a 2 or more standard drink, and what you think you're having as standard drinks aren't standard drinks.
That's crazy,
so you just got to be really careful.
That's really crazy.
Before we go into the next beer and we talk about the red, I'm going to pull this other one out.
Yeah.
While you're doing that.
What am I doing?
Oh, well, we can flick over to this one and
You just pull that up, Pete. I'll tell you what, it smells good. How's the colour difference?
Oh, and that's perfect. So what you'll get, Al, is there'll be a bit of jiggle.
Yeah.
So you'll see
A little bit of jiggle.
see that? Like it's not that liquidy. Oh look, I've just
You're just throwing half the cranberries out.
thrown cranberries everywhere. But anyway, hey, look, we're gonna.
It smells good.
It's magnificent.
Even Freddie's come out.
Oh, mate.
Of course he has.
That.
Every time he hears
I'm not gonna touch
the
that
smoker
with my
open, I'd probably leave that for a little bit, mate.
Yeah, well, we've got to let it sit and rest for 10 minutes.
Cool.
And let it do its thing. I just wanted to get it out, but I'm also going to lift it up to our camera to give everyone a bit of a bo peep of what that really looks like. Have
Yum.
a crack at that, folks. That is a ripping dessert. You throw that on the table at Easter Sunday lunch, people are going to love you for a long time.
Yeah.
Come
definitely.
love me long time at Easter.
Correct.
I love it. That's a ripping dish. So easy to do and so quick.
Nice.
Oh, we're going a bit hazy over there. We lost a bit of focus. But anyway, that's
All good.
just us.
That's us.
So the
That's
other beer is
The tenant.
former tenant. And
The
what
red,
I might
red
do,
IPA, I think it was.
again, I'm gonna be a bit careful and just only have a couple of sips of that one and a couple of sips of this one, and you
I've
probably
got to go nowhere, so I'm fine.
you're all right with that. But I am gonna have a go at the red. So I'll crack that out. Oh, geez, have a look at
How
that.
red's that?
Jeez.
That's got some colour to it for an IPA.
In the old
Doesn't it?
in the old days,
I don't know if you can see it, that
Oh,
redness
I
in the
would've-
camera there.
I would have looked at that and said,
Oh,
"Oh,
it's got a stout look to it, doesn't
golly, is that going to put some lead in your pencil?"
it? Isn't it?
Hey?
Then again, it's 7.8%.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
just a sniff of it might be enough for me, I think. But I'm keen to have a try of it. So
And give it a crack.
I think that one of the challenges for us is we're sitting out the back, our stuff's not chilled, so it kind of, we lose a bit of that
Yeah.
taste. But I suppose it's some of these are supposed to be drunk at a bit of a warmer temperature.
Yeah.
A lot of people drink things too cold, and it sort of affects the
So I
flavour
always
of the
say
beer.
the English mate always drink their beer warm.
Bloody palms, I'll tell you. But anyway, hey, so let's have a crack at this one. Tell us about it while I'm having a sip, Al.
What are we telling you about? So the allure of this brew rests in the decadent blend of hops and malts combining in the Swedish beer symphony your taste buds are asking for.
Wow.
Is that true, Pete?
Yeah.
Is it very decadent?
It is.
It's decadent. Would you describe it? That
Yeah,
is
I
actually
would
their most
describe it.
awarded beer. Would you believe?
Is that right?
In their whole range, that is their most awarded beer, and the name behind one of the best yarns in Aussie craft beer.
What's the
Apparently.
yarn?
Absolutely no idea because I couldn't find it.
I'll tell you what, if the owners were, what's her name? Jazz and Grant?
Jazz and Grant, yeah.
If you guys get hold of this, or someone knows you that, or passes this information on to you, can you tell us what the yarn is behind the name former tenant? We'd love to know.
Yep.
Shoot it in.
Surely it's got something to do with the
That's
tenant.
something you share with friends.
Yep.
Oh.
What do you reckon?
That to me is like, it's like having a dark chocolate.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of, you need to try it in the other glass. It's,
Only because I'm being told to.
no, but I kind of want, I don't know, I don't know
I'm
how to
joking.
describe it. It's a nice beer, like I'd sit and have it here with you, no problem at all.
Mm.
Could I drink a lot of it? No, it's not a session beer. I wouldn't have thought it was sessionable, as the terminology
Which
goes.
was one thing I was surprised with last week, you know, at the Frankston Brew House, and I know I've said it a couple of times this week to you, but every single one of their beers, and it did surprise me that, because normally that when you go somewhere and you're trying new beers, there's always a beer that you're not a fan of.
Yeah.
But that was one thing last week that did
All
shock
five.
me, that I enjoyed every single one of them, and I could sit there all day drinking
Just
all of
mixing it up.
any of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's not
No,
one of them that I would have sat there. Even the stout, the porter, I could drink that all day.
Yeah, so the big heavy fat beers I can't.
Yeah.
I just can't do that.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm soft. Maybe I'm little and white and pale, and you're big and pale and pommy. But I just can't do it. But did you?
No, not
What?
yet.
How about why don't we? I couldn't get the words out. Anyone think I was having a stroke? Froggy. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's good. It is decadent, you're right.
Yeah, it's. You know how sometimes these darker, heavier beers can
It hasn't
leave a
got
bit of
that,
a
yeah,
bit
it
of
hasn't got the
aftertaste.
aftertaste.
It hasn't.
Yeah, no, it hasn't. No, definitely.
It's still pretty crisp. It's still got that big, bold, fat, dark beer sort of
Yeah, but no aftertaste.
kick about it. But yeah, it just
No,
hasn't
nice.
got that
Spot
that
on.
lingering kick.
Give it a go.
So yeah, so
I'm a
that
fan.
is modus operandi. They
is.
are based in New South Wales.
Yeah, Mona Vale
In
New
Mona,
South Wales.
Mona
yeah.
Vale.
Mona Vale.
No, not Mona Vale.
And then they've got the new establishment opening in 2021, which is this year.
Merriweather.
In Merriweather.
Merriweather.
Near
Right.
Newcastle.
Right, I'll tell you what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm getting up and I'll tell you, I talk about being decadent. Have a crack.
Oh, look, he's even bought the farmhouse cut gold. Is that milk or is that?
That's cold custard.
I was going to
my
say,
friend.
I thought you were going to serve it with milk for a second.
Not a chance. So here we go. So we're going to get, I reckon has that been 10 minutes? Have we been rubbishing
10 minutes
on,
is enough.
ratting on for 10 minutes?
We're going to get it out. We're going to try it. We're going to let everyone go to their Thursday
Right.
night footy
Yep, we are,
because
including me.
we've annoyed everyone enough with our rubbish connection tonight.
So you can see, Al, it's almost like a custard underneath.
It is, yeah.
So it holds together really well.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's funny, when I had it last week, I thought, it's almost like an omelette on the bottom, consistency-wise.
Yeah, wow.
It sets really well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you a nice big fat bowl
I
there.
was going to say, mate, you've really loaded that.
Oh, absolutely. Have a look at that.
Do I get my ice and sugar and cinnamon?
Cinnamon. You want some cinnamon, buddy? Look at that.
Thanks, mate.
Soups!
I don't know if anyone's going to be able to see that. Does look good. You're right, Jared. Black beers do matter. I agree.
Black beards.
So beers.
Oh,
So cheers,
he
mate.
said black beards.
It's very red, more
I
red
thought
than
he was
black.
talking about black beards. I was going to say, so when's Jared started hanging out with pirates?
That's how I have started again. I'm going to grow the beard out again.
Are ya?
Yeah, no more shaving.
Well, we've had.
I'm going to see how we go this year.
I've probably got to keep things a little bit tidy with the
I did do the COVID beer last year, but I think I'm going to bring it back for winter.
I'd love to, but anyway. Where's Soups? She's going to be all over this, like a fat kid on a donut.
I'm glad you said that, not me. I'll be honest.
It does look like bread and butter pudding.
It does. I'm going to try some while you're talking rubbish in the background.
Mate, it's a ripper, and I get really excited about this kind of stuff, as you know. Right, I'm moving that around trying to find the centre, but there you go, folks. So you can see there that whole liquid form that we put in the bottom of it is now dispersed off, and it's set.
It has got that
like a custard.
bread and butter.
How is it, mate?
Consistency.
What do you reckon?
It's actually really good.
Have I done an okay job?
You've done a ripping job, mate.
Again. That's a couple of my cooks now. You've gone, hey, yeah,
I know, yeah, you're not doing bad, are you? You're going alright for a red-headed fella.
Short, fat, red-headed bloke. I go, okay.
No, you've done a ripper there, mate. So that's spot on. That's beautiful. It's what you, to be honest, it's what you'd expect. It's got that hot cross bun flavour. You've got the cinnamon in there. You've got the apple. You've got the cranberries. And it all just works.
It does work.
And those chocolate chips on the top, they haven't melted, so they've got a little bit of crunch.
Yeah, so I do as I said, I do the white and the dark just for that little bit of change. And yeah,
you're multicultural.
I am. I like to share it around, share the love.
No, that's spot on, Pete. Good work. Thanks, mate. I'll enjoy that after. So cooks last week, Pete. What did you do? Actually, I'll say what I did because I did some pork belly candy last week. We had a good friend of ours, Michael Tarrant, it was his birthday last week. So caught up with all the boys, Luke and Ben and Louis, all the guys. Did a bit of pork belly candy, and everyone loved it. The whole party went mental. I literally took it into the party. I put it on the table and I said, "Sorry, I've made you some pork belly candy." And he walked over and I said, "Go and try a bit." And within 5 minutes, everyone was up there because Tara gone, "You've got to try this. You've got to try that. Try it." And it just melted. It exploded in your mouth.
Yum.
It was so good.
Sounds good. Hey, I know what you've done here.
What?
I'm onto you. You've tried to move on and miss my gag of the week.
I have, you're right.
Mate, how dare you?
I didn't skip it.
Honestly.
I did it on purpose. So
Hey,
what did you cook last week, Pete?
My gag of the week. What do you get if you pour hot water into a rabbit burrow?
A hot cross bunny.
Hot cross bunnies!
I got one.
He got one, so there it is. There's one for the kids. Poke it in the hole, hot water, hot cross bunnies. There you go.
Wow.
Which flavoured hot cross buns did we use? We used the apple and cinnamon ones.
Yeah.
You can use whatever you like. Fruitless, fruit, do whatever you want to do. Just play it up.
Choc chip ones would be amazing.
Worked well. Oh, the
extra choc chips
talk about decadent and indulgent. Yeah, there it is, 100%. Right? So it's all good.
Yeah.
Hey,
there's something your personal trainer would recommend.
I wanted to do the trial run of this,
yeah.
And I wanted to do it on the smoker course, and unfortunately my gear broke down. And I
technical issues, as we see to every week on
and it's not like I have a shortage barbecues, but I just left my run a bit late to try and fire up the Fornetto, the bullet with the charcoal. So I actually did this in the oven last week just as a tester.
Yeah.
To get things going.
The family weren't complaining, mate.
No, they loved it, so it was good. And I actually cooked a.
Well, the good news is you'll be taking more home tonight.
Yeah, nice. I had a chook that I'd done as well with that some nice rub and stuff. I actually used the Trinity rub and did a chook and everything else, and it was bloody beautiful chook, homemade chook. Did it in the oven. Just used a bit of the technique.
Trinity rub, people seem to love it.
Great.
Everyone, I was on the phone to a guy today, and we gave him some when he bought one of his bought a barbecue offers.
It's a bit of an all-rounder. Yeah,
and he's absolutely in love with it.
Shelley said this would be great with the chocolate hot cross buns and Bailey's custard. Oh.
Now we're talking.
Hey?
See, she's got all the ideas.
Michelle
is the dessert queen.
She is the ideas.
Literally the dessert queen. So
she's the ideas.
She needs to come over and give us
some tips.
Ideas.
She should come over and cook some cake one day.
A cheesecake, a smoked cheesecake. There we go.
I reckon.
Cheesecake is her forte. She dropped me off a cheesecake was it last week? Yeah, last Friday. And I'll tell you what.
Yum.
God, it was good.
Yum. Hey,
Soups
I
didn't
know.
get any. She literally didn't get any.
She's had a bit of change.
No, literally, Soups had, it was this bowl.
You didn't tell her about it.
It was this bowl, and I reckon Soups probably had that corner.
Was that Shelley's bowl?
And I had the rest, yeah.
Hey, thanks, Shell. That was great to have Lonnie bowl.
It's what the
awesome.
cheesecake
was in. Nice.
And so we used it for tonight.
Hey, I'll tell you what I seen on
we can probably actually get rid of that screen, can't we?
I seen on Facebook earlier, one of our mates, Pete Alderton, was at home tonight cooking brisket sausages.
Yeah, wow.
Imagine
That's
taking...
something we've spoken about doing, isn't it? Making our own sausages. We'll have to do it at some point, and we've still got to do that
class.
The class
With
day.
Johnny. So, yeah, we'll get that organised and we'll get that happening. So, anyway, so what I'm cooking this week for Easter, tomorrow, Good Friday, is no red meat day, of course.
Yeah.
For those who respect that day, and I do. I mean, I think it's more a tradition for us. I mean, Mum never let us used to eat red meat on Good Friday growing up.
See, for me, it's hard because I don't eat fish.
Yeah, right. No, learn.
So I've always struggled with that, David.
Suck it up, cupcake. So
I'm that one bloke that sits around
you
the barbecue and cooks
him.
a steak while
You're
everyone
him.
else is having a bit
You're
of
the one
fish.
bloke that orders a Big Mac on Good Friday. Hey, bring my
Mac
bowl
is
back. Yes,
open.
yes, we will. So Shell said, bring my bowl back with the hot cross pudding in it. So yeah.
Fair call.
So I'm going to do some salmon
Yeah.
in the morning. And in fact, I picked up... Did I bring it out? I thought I did. Don't know what I've done with it. I picked up from a supplier in town here, and maybe we'll share that at some point, a thing called moist
Yeah, the moisture bomb. So
moist-
saying
moist
that
bomb.
when you're injecting your meats, you add it with your injected fluid, like if you're doing a stock or...
But you don't have to. You can mix it
or
with
you can
water
just
and
mix
put
it with water,
it.
yeah.
Mix
The
it
one
with water.
I've got one very similar,
Yep.
and it just adds moisture to you. It's supposed to add moisture to your meat. I do one day want to do two, and put it in one and not put it in the other, because...
Well, I might
for
do
me-
that tomorrow
Yeah.
because I'm going to do the orange maple salmon that I do.
Yeah.
Because the bride and everyone loves it. So I went and got some fresh salmon this afternoon or tonight before I came over, and before all the shops shut tomorrow, I thought, geez, I better get down and get the fish. So I nicked down and I grabbed some fresh salmon, and I'm going to brine that. I'll do it in the morning. I would have liked to have done it tonight, but I'm just going to run out of time. But I'll do that in the morning. I'll leave it in the brine all day, and I'll use the moisture bomb actually, because I'm not going to inject it. I'm just going to brine it in it.
Okay.
So I'm going to get my glass dish. I'm going to use the moisture bomb along with all my other stuff that I brine with, the orange and the rind and a few other bits and pieces. And then I'm going to cook the salmon with that. So I might do a couple with it and a couple without it, and just see if we can pick the difference.
because I've used that, and I mean so the pork butts, obviously the Boston pork butts we've done a bit of when we've done the catering a couple of times over the last month.
Yep.
And I've injected all of those just with a bit of apple juice, but I'm purely only injecting that because I want that apple flavour in with the pork, because I think the apple with the pork is just
sensational.
freaking amazing.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
It just works.
And it works, but I didn't put any of the bomb in, but it doesn't. And that was as juicy as
Or get out.
pork is going to get. And so for me, I don't know how much.
I think
that's going to add to.
No, this has actually been designed probably more with chicken and turkey in mind.
Yeah.
Rather than, because turkey can dry out really quickly because it's a big bird, needs a long time to cook. It's low fat meat. It tends to dry out.
I'd like to try a few things anyway. So I mean, even with like your turkey and your chicken, why not just inject it with some white wine or something like that? Add a liquid, or
you're talking my
you know what I mean? Like this. Yes, moisture
wonder
might work, but I'm just thinking more like I like to add my liquids and flavours rather than just adding.
I'm going to take that a step further, because tomorrow I'm not going to. Oh no, can't do it. Maybe Sunday.
Yeah.
I've got a brisket, a nice little 2 kilo point that I'm going to.
It's in my fridge. That might get locked before you leave.
I might buy a decent bottle of Shiraz and pump into it.
Why not?
How good would that be?
Yeah.
Get some
Well,
Grange.
that's what I'm saying. Just
get
try
some
those,
Grange. Get a bottle of
things.
Grange and pump it into your
I don't know if you
brisket.
get a bottle of Grange.
Hey, how good would that be?
Be the most expensive bloody brisket you've ever eaten. That's for damn sure.
Speaking of
It'd want to be
decadent,
good.
hey, if anyone's interested in a really decadent catered evening, we could do Grange infused brisket.
Watsonia. I'll post the address later. Saturday night, everyone at Pete's joint with
Imagine
a
that.
Penfolds infused brisket. We'll
Jeez,
have it.
it's got me thinking. Hey, so I'm doing that, and then I'm going to do the brisket on Sunday. Maybe the kids will be over. We'll see how we go. I think a few of them are away. And yeah, what about you? What are you doing on the weekend, mate?
Honestly, I don't know yet. I'm undecided.
Okay. Some people say you're indecisive. You're not quite sure.
No, it's just been that busy a week. I've not even, because normally I'll think and I'll go, right, what are we doing this weekend?
Yeah.
And I don't even know what we're doing this weekend. So
it's going to be beautiful weather, so...
We've literally had a mad month. The last month has just been crazy.
Sorry, mate.
During the week, it's been flat out, obviously work's been busy, and then on the weekends we've been busy with the 2SG stuff, doing the cookouts for people, and obviously Shepparton, and then.
Yep.
So
And now we're going to be preparing this on weekends.
Exactly, and now we've got, 4 days off. I've not even really thought about what I'm going to do with those 4 days off.
Tell you what I'm going to do is probably walk some of this off, but I'll probably eat more of it.
So yeah. But yes, I'm undecided. But yes, I will be cooking something. But what am I going to be cooking? I don't know yet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, so next week we'll do some prep. As I said, we'll get the information from the Shep Brew and Barbecue Fest up for all you guys who we told to tune in tonight to watch out.
Apologies, yeah.
And
we'll fix the internet connection.
And I've just been reminded, make sure you get onto Vina Clock and get your wine to do the injecting into your brisket.
Yes, my good friend Mr. Bear.
Our mate Mr. Bear and Vina Clock. So get on there, vinaclock.com.au, spelt as it sounds. Check it out and buy some good wine off Mr. Bear. If you've got questions, send them to him first.
Yeah, 100%.
About what goes with what. He's happy to answer it, and they're a really personable bunch of guys. So get on there and check them out.
Yeah.
In the meantime, check out the website www.2sg or twosmokingguns.com.au or
As we said, it is a lot. There's a lot less on there now, and some of it will be.
We're going to run out
of stock.
Yeah, we're going to run some stuff out. Yeah. We might even do some specials to run a bit of stuff out. So watch this space. We'll probably still do a bit of merch with,
there'll be a few bits and pieces that we're going to do still.
Yep. We're going to continue.
Some new things that we are going to do.
Yep.
But yeah, at the moment we're just going to be running out quite a bit of the stock and just concentrating on what we're doing here with you guys and some on the field.
Well, hopefully we'll get out and do some comps and we're going to get out
and we've got a few people that are interested in us doing a few things at their venues as well. So.
Yep. So we'll go out and do some venue gigs. We'll do more social. We'll do hopefully some education days. You never know. We might even see another logo of some sort of sponsorship on the other side of these shirts at some point. You just never know what might happen. What's around the corner?
Yeah, definitely.
Hey. So get on there. Don't forget anything that's on there. FB Live 10 to get your 10% discount.
Yeah.
Don't forget to put it in. The old boys chopping boards are on there.
Yeah,
He actually gave us 2 more of the big fellas.
Good, because I haven't got mine yet because my sister stole it.
Oh, right. So there you go. Hey, so we've got one of the really big chopping boards left. Every time we get them in there.
Well, the thing was, we were just going to stick with those ones originally. Now I wanted a big one for myself, so we said to Neil, "Can you make me a big board?"
And it seems everyone wants big boards.
And we got 2 big boards made.
Yep.
And I've not ended up with one of them.
Yep. So we've got, and of course, if we sell these other 2, then you're welcome.
We'll still be waiting.
Yep. Yeah. Michelle Yates, I'll sponsor you. Thanks, Shelley. Yep. We could do with some sponsors.
Scents by Shell.
Yep.
So anyone who's after any scents for their
loved ones.
Perfumes. I've got some that Michelle kindly got for me.
Really?
Yeah. And I tell you what, they are identical.
Really?
To the originals. You wouldn't know the difference, but a third of the price.
So genuine copies.
Well, it's not even
made in China.
They're literally made with the same
essences.
It's just not in the branded.
Yeah, nice. So you're not getting.
So if you need some, jump on. I'll get Michelle. Hopefully, we'll put a link to her page in there, and jump on to her site, and jump on and grab whatever you need.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, brilliant stuff, and it smells amazing.
Good stuff. Hey, I reckon we're just about done. Sorry about all the tech difficulties, the dropping out tonight.
Next week.
Hope you enjoyed the Easter cook, and you all get to have a crack at the 2SG smoked hot cross bun
You've
pudding.
literally just forgot what you cooked, haven't you?
I did. I'm losing the plot. And, all I've done is literally look.
You've got a full-time job again. And have a look. You've lost it.
I kid you not. I've taken a mouthful out of 2 beers tonight.
He's 2 days into his full-time gig.
Anyway, let's not
Anyway, guys, thanks heaps for watching, and have an amazing Easter. Have a safe one. Be careful what you drink. As we said with the ABVs, it can be out. Watch what you drink. Don't drink and drive.
And keep on smoking, grilling, and chilling.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Take care. And where are we? Unprepared.